Hi, this is Zoe from The Whisper Tree, and I have for you in this video my top 5 tips to help children build their sense of inner knowing and self-confidence. So my number 1 tip is to really listen to your children. Now, I know we're so busy and we have so many things. We have work, we have the house, we have our social life, so many things going on, so busy. But if I could just give you one tip towards that is, stop those gadgets. I sometimes find myself texting or whatever, and my son's trying to talk to me, and I don't know about you guys, but I cannot do 2 things at once. So I really try and make a point when I remember to just put the phone down and just listen to them for those few moments. I think that's hugely important, and just helps them to build that sense of self-worth and self-confidence just by a little bit. My second top tip is to nurture those passions. What we truly are destined to be. We all have a high destiny and purpose. What we're truly destined to be doing in our lives is probably what we spent most of our childhood doing when we could do. So that's why I feel it's so important that if your child starts talking about wanting to play football, or however you feel about that, or wanting to play the guitar, or just anything, just really encourage that in them, because that is their truest passion, their deep down love, and something that will make their soul sing, as I like to say. So I think that's hugely important that you encourage that. And I also feel that sometimes we kind of coerce them a bit. I know I've done that before, and I think, well, that would be really good if they did that. Let's really push them into that a little bit. But if you feel that they're kind of backing off and they don't want to do it, then personally I'd say, okay, well, look, we've paid up for this half term or term or whatever. Let's just finish that. If you really feel the same way, then we'll stop it. That's fine. It's obviously not floating your boat anymore, and we're going to stop it, and maybe something else will come along that's better for you. The third top tip is to place value on the important feelings of love and gratitude and respect, all those sorts of things. And, not just let it be about the academic stuff. I mean, I get that school's important and that they have to learn to read and write and do their sums, but I don't think it's the be all and end all. I really don't. I feel that what is important is that they have that self-esteem, they have that inner knowing and that intuition, and they value things like gratitude and love and joy and and respect. All those things need to be put in place. The other stuff will follow. The school, if they're happy, school will be a joy for them to go to, and it will just happen for them naturally and smoothly, however that has to happen. But for me, I feel all those things like the self-esteem and the inner knowing and the inner strength and confidence has to come first. Work on that, and then just the rest will follow. My fourth tip is let them make their own decisions. I always think to myself, what is the worst thing that could happen? What is the worst thing if they choose that secondary school that, isn't probably my first choice? If they want to go there and they feel that that's right for them, then let them go. And I always think, well, what's the worst thing that could happen? If it's not right for them, then you just take them out and put them into another one. And this is something that I've been facing recently with my eldest child. I just said to him, don't just base your decisions on where your friends are going, because it might not be the right one for you. It might be right for your best friend, but it might not be right for you. If it is, just go along, look at both schools, because he had a choice of 2, and just listen to that gut instinct, that gut feeling. Is it right for you? What's it got to offer for you? And then make your decision. And I've always said to him, if it's the wrong one, we just pull you out and we put you in the other one. It's really not a problem. But any of those big decisions, I feel really, I mean, my eldest son, it was 10 at the time, and I felt that he was perfectly able to make that decision for himself. And I felt it was important that he build that inner knowing for himself and that sense of intuition for himself. And I feel that that's really helped him to build that self-confidence and that inner knowing. I feel that's so important. The last tip, and you're probably doing this anyway, but tell your kids you love them every day. I tell my kids I love them every day when I took them in at night. I feel that's hugely important, and it just gives that sense of importance on those higher feelings, those higher vibrational feelings of love, you know, and nurture and unconditional love. You know, just remembering that you're a model for their behavior. You know, I mean, I know they have so many other influences in their lives, like their teachers, their friends, other parents, but you know, remember, you are that primary model as well. And you know, your behavior, that they'll be watching you, they'll be watching that behavior and those examples that you set. So just remembering that as well. Hope this helps. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share or comment, because it just helps me get that message out to other people who really need it. Thank you and blessings.